this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Purdy to throw it on first down.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call it, not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. That's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Purdy looking to throw.
Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Purdy sets up to throw again. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll come on and kick for a 6th time tonight. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Nifty move. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
On second down, here's Henry. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Jackson looking to throw on third.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they spotted at the 49. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Now Jackson on first down. They complete it to Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 32-yard line now, here's second and 5. To throw again is Jackson. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. James Cook, a 12-yard touchdown run, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Purdy. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Purdy. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now Purdy. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. And he is caught. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Can't go with try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with a slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd down and 6 now. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 42 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A.J. Brown from 21 yards away. And the NFC able to get a bit closer.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
The NFC going to line up and go for 2 here. Purdy will throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? We've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys in the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jackson's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage. Sets
him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, Cook. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now, this one has been fun so far, as the Pro Bowl usually is. A lot of relaxed faces out there. 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. A couple of touchdown passes, almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well that I think Lady Luck was on his side.
On third down, Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the AFC with the football and the lead as we begin quarter number 4. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Play action. Now Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nick Bosa able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Purdy to throw again on 2nd and 10.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Purdy with it on 3rd and long.
Incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Purdy now to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Purdy from the gun.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Roquan Smith, his 2nd sack of the night.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man Lamb, it's complete. No problem there for the NFC. A big gain on 4th down, and that will keep the drive moving. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. And how about that return as he's hauled away inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They'll try to run forward with Henry. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Henry will score. Touchdown AFC.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches, and then you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Big strides. Look at him go. George Kittle. And all the way in for the touchdown. George Kittle, 73 yards. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
The NFC going to line up and go for 2 here. They go with McCaffrey. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off, as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the AFC. Fielded at about the 28. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Purdy. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That'll put him right on the doorstep of a 200-yard game. He's at 199 as he picks up the 1st. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Purdy. And his throw is incomplete.
That ball was tipped in the air, and while it ultimately fell incomplete, it caused a few anxious moments for the guy slinging it, who's had quite a day. He knows how to get it into the end zone. He's throwing it really, really well, and maybe Lady Luck is on his side because he avoided his first interception of the contest.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Left side to Lamb. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They get this out quickly to the left side. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has been a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. On 1st down, Purdy. That's caught downfield by Kittle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Purdy now on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that one goes incomplete on the drop.
That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So on fourth down, they're going to go again. Keep in mind they're 3 of 4 so far in these situations. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will be taken down, but not before he's got the NFC first down. So they take a chance on fourth. Why not in this game? And it's going to pay off with a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. Purdy sets up to throw again. And that one too wide and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Purdy looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Now a first and 10 at the 11. Purdy now to throw. An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Purdy will look to throw again here. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Pat Surtain. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The AFC set to take over on offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. From the gun, it's Jackson. That is caught. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory.
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. Good night, everybody.